Welcome into the Jam Happy Hour. We're so happy to have you here with us. Some music, some conversation, perhaps a little bit of wine along the way. Today, we're going to be joined by Caroline Romano, who is, ironically enough, jumping in from Nashville. So thank you so much for being here with us in the Jam Happy Hour. How are you?
I'm good. Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. I'm stoked to be here. Love the Nashville shirt. Love that we were repping it. So
I didn't even, I actually went to high school in Nashville and
no
like,
way.
A long time ago.
That's
I went
awesome.
to Hillsboro.
Dude, I love Hillsboro. It's probably my favorite area of Nashville. So that's so
Or
sick.
the Starbucks right by it.
I frequent the Starbucks by the Hillsboro. So yeah, I really do.
We're already fast friends then.
know.
I love it. You've got an extensive music catalog. We've got a lot to dive into, talk about tour projects, some fun stuff coming up. But what we like to do here in the Jam Happy Hour is just get the music rolling right away. And what would you like to perform for us first?
I'm going to perform one of my favorite songs that I've written off the EP I put out last summer called St. George. So hope you guys like it.
All right, St. George here in the Jam Happy Hour. Take it away.
One, two, three. St. George, sea green, your hands under long sleeves. You said you're sorry. I said, don't say that ever again. And I'm not sure if I hate you yet. I don't know. But if I guess I'd have to bet that you let me go, so I wouldn't have to know. But I already do. Wish I could drink enough to finally call you up, but I'll just cry and fall asleep. But I want more. What did you want me for? Still see you in your sweater. Couldn't have loved you better. No, I want more. Your hand's still on that door, and you'll come down for sure. And when you do, you know I'll be waiting for you on the floor. Oh, I'll wait for you on the floor. You read my name, it sounded like the rain. You kissed her once, then twice. You said I need you in my life, but I don't know. Am I making too much or something? Letting go. I wasn't yours, but I wasn't nothing, and you let me go, so I wouldn't have to know, but I already do. But I want more. What did you want me for? Still see you in your sweater. Couldn't have loved you better. No, I want more. Your hand's still on that door, and you'll come down for sure. And when you do, you know I'll be waiting for you on the floor. Oh, I'll wait for you on the floor. 1, 2, 3. St. George, sea green, your hands under long sleeves. You said you're sorry. I said, don't say that. No, I want more. What did you want me for? Still see you in your sweater. Couldn't have loved you better. No, I want more. Your hand's still on that door, and you'll come down for sure. And when you do, you know I'll be waiting for you on the floor. Oh, I'll wait for you on the floor. I'll wait for you on the...
That was St. George.
St. George with Caroline Romano here in the Jam Happy Hour. Now, you said that one came off of an EP that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You have been consistently putting out music, like, a song here, a song there. When you think back to the old process of like songwriting and musicality, which do you kind of prefer, like the slow release of music, or like when you used to do like a whole project and boom, drop an album?
I love kind of the mixture of both. I really like writing songs and slowly releasing them, like dribbling them out as singles, and then that kind of painting the picture and the setup for like when it's time to drop a full project, because I am a really project-based person. I love having that whole big story to tell, and I think a good lead up can really make that like all the more special.
It's got to be hard though when you've got like all of these songs kind of stored up, the song arc, the story arc in your brain, like how hard is it not to want to just like put everything else all out there at once?
It's so hard, but it's also so easy because it just takes so much time. Like, I'm a very meticulous person and I want to put a lot of my all into everything I do. And so it's actually kind of hard not to get bogged down in like overanalyzing every little thing you do for each song. But at the same time, I totally do sometimes wish I could just upload every song I've ever written into a Dropbox folder overnight and leak it to the world, because that would be kind of fun.
I think Drake just did that.
Drake can do that.
I think like an hour ago, he dropped like a whole like gigabyte worth of stuff. Like, what? I mean, but can't imagine how much he's sitting on. But you have a huge, discography as it is. You've been actively putting out music since what, 2017?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been
you
wild.
started young.
I did start young. I moved to Nashville at 17 full time. Was putting out music before that though, and it's been a journey of like different sounds, just figuring out who you are and kind of like growing up with yourself in music, and like that kind of being the visual of you growing as a person, which is cool.
Some people have yearbooks. You have songs.
I do, and unfortunately some of those songs reflect the bad times too. So yeah, but it's cool. I love it.
I think it's the beauty of music. People can relate to the good times and the bad times.
Yeah, for sure. Some of them are more, I shouldn't say bad times. I mean, some of it's more, you're an awkward teenager and why did you write that song about that person? That makes you a stalker, actually. So, yeah. But.
Okay, something very specific there I can see with
Ask
Caroline.
any girl who's written a song ever, and I feel like she might kind of relate to that feeling. But, yeah.
It's got to be interesting, though, to kind of like put yourself back into that place and that time of that song as you perform it now, like all these years later, all these lessons later, all this life later.
Totally.
You still got to pull like some of that, just like not cringe, but that 17-year-old girl, that 18-year-old girl.
Oh, totally. It takes you back to that place. There is sometimes cringe with it as well, but there's so much nostalgia listening back to stuff I wrote 16, 17, 18, like being like, oh my gosh, you had no idea that was going to work out or that wasn't going to work out. And it brings all those feelings right back for sure, which is fun.
Well, especially when a 17-year-old, 18-year-old girl hears it now and hears their own story in it, like, oh, wow.
Exactly.
She gets me.
Yeah. It's funny how it's like music is so specific to the times, but also so timeless, which is cool.
Very well put. I think you might be a songwriter.
Oh my gosh. Oh, thanks.
When it comes to the songs, I know we talk more about your process in a minute, but, do you have the story in mind first? Do you hear the music first? Do you have the lyrics first? Like, where does your brain kind of go, oh, this is a song?
I'm a very, very much so a lyrics-driven person, a story-driven person. It's very rare that I'll ever start with a melody, just because I think at the end of the day, like, I'm a writer, and like whether it was to a musical format or not, like I just want to write about it, and that's kind of how that's my form of catharsis. And so typically it's about something that's just happening in my life, and it'll be like one line that I'll write down in my notes, and I can kind of turn that into the whole story. But what I love about songwriting is that, at least for me, it's like looks totally different every time based off if it's something I'm just writing by myself in my room, or if it's a session I'm going in to write with like 3 other amazing writers. Like, it's different every time, which I'm the type of person who needs that in a lifestyle. So I like shaking it up for sure.
Well, I love the collaborative spirit of Nashville and just, the industry in general, but it's very special there in that town. And you've got to imagine sometimes you're getting together to write songs that are going to go to other artists or going to fit somebody better. Do you ever get that feeling, though, when you're in the middle of a song, you're like, this is totally mine. Nobody's getting this.
Definitely. There are definitely times where I'm like, I'm going to fight for this. And typically, thankfully, everyone I've worked with has been pretty good about establishing like who we're writing for beforehand and like what the goal is. But yeah, there's definitely been times where I'm like, oh, I really would love to fight to at least have like a part in this song, even if it's not mine, like a feature on it or something.
Oh, it's going to be so interesting and yet difficult at the same time too, because you hear it in a certain way, and obviously, Austin may hear it in another way. Hey, Austin.
Yeah.
And then, whoever you're working with, pulling all of that together to make one cohesive song really takes a personality trait that not a lot of people have. So kudos to you. That can't be easy.
I say songwriting is a lot like dating, and like that you just got to kind of find the people that you mesh so well with that it's like same minds but different. Like you got to have all the important qualities on the same level, but also like be different enough to where when you guys get together, it's an understood thing and it flows so well and so easily. That's what I think it's kind of like.
Kind of like therapy.
Kind of like therapy too. Yeah. All of it. All the things.
So we all need to be songwriters and do more therapy. Speaking of therapy, music is therapy. And I love, there's a lot of honesty in your songs that people can really relate to. And it's about, oh gosh, already 10 minutes in. So what would you like to perform for us next here in the Jam Happy Hour?
I'm going to do a song, my latest release. I put it out back in May. It's called Doesn't Matter. And it's very different than my other songs. So hope you guys like that as well.
It doesn't matter. It's Caroline Romano in the Jam Happy Hour.
Let the rain paint the road. I don't want you to go, 'cause I don't know if I have you yet. A paper bag and your nice clothes. I say too much till you take me home, but I don't know if I have you yet. Does it always go like this? Oh, you lock the door and I hold my breath. Turn me on like the radio. I don't wanna know who you're talking to when you're on the telephone. Certified heartbreak whisper. Take me up the stairs, won't ask you if you kissed her. Doesn't matter where you go on the weekends. If I'm going with you, let me deeper than we're sinking. Kiss me on the top of the bookshelf letter. Baby, in my skirt, you can make it hurt worse. Doesn't matter. You gotta know that it isn't fair. A holy form just laying there, like I'm not on the precipice. Like I'm not on the precipice. This fire, no, it's burning down. There's proof of you all over town. I fear there's just no escaping it. Does it always go like this? Oh, you lock the door and I hold my breath. Turn me on like the radio. I don't wanna know who you're talking to when you're on the telephone. Certified heartbreak whisper. Take me up the stairs, won't ask you if you kissed her. Doesn't matter where you go on the weekends. If I'm going with you, let me deeper than we're sinking. Kiss me on the top of the bookshelf letter. Baby, in my skirt, you can make it hurt worse. So tell me where to go, tell me what you need. I could be a girl, I could be a scene. So tell me where to go, tell me what you need. Oh, let me be a girl, let me be a scene. Like turn me on like the radio. I don't wanna know who you're talking to when you're on the telephone. Certified heartbreak whisper. Take me up the stairs, won't ask you if you kissed her. Doesn't matter where you go on the weekends. If I'm going with you, love me deeper than we're sinking. Top of the bookshelf letter. Baby, in my skirt, you can make it hurt worse. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It definitely has like a different kind of a vibe for sure.
Yeah,
like
totally.
You can feel the difference in even the subject matter and in the lightness and this, that, and the other. Do you always kind of push yourself to try something different or to kind of expand on different sounds and genres, or is it just kind of coming organically?
It kind of comes organically. It has a lot to do with like what I'm listening to in that moment and like what's inspiring me, what's going on in my life. The song is very like much stream of consciousness and very like word vomity, and like that's just kind of how I was feeling at the time. Like I just want to say all these things to this person and I don't want to fit it into any conversation that should be a certain length, or you know, any like song that it is different, but it's mildly happy. I think that's the biggest thing, is somewhat happy, and I think that's what people are like, oh, that's not the most saddest song I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
So it's different.
It's like,
yeah.
I mean, she seems really down with it, you know? Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter. Let's go do the thing. So, yeah, I guess it is a little bit of both, for sure.
It's a little bit of both. I tend to lean, I don't know if you've caught the drift, towards the sad vibe. So trying to shake it up every now and then, again, is important.
Well,
and
you
another,
have a
Oh, sorry,
very
go ahead.
unique kind of vocal that kind of almost lends to that, too. I mean, it takes me, you know, and I hate to do comparisons, but it always kind of takes me into like a Mazzy Star,
Oh, sick.
like a very thick, feeling vulnerable kind of vocalness to your voice. Did you grow up listening to music like that, or who were really your inspirations vocally when you were finding this voice? Like, oh, I can sound like this.
I think I learned to like sing through Taylor Swift, just because that's who I would listen to in the car on the way to school. That was how I learned to songwrite. That was kind of like a very critical part
Good
of my
teacher.
life. Great teacher. But I think when I first heard Lorde sing, I thought that's different, and that's something I didn't know girls kind of did with their voice, like the low growly kind of thing.
Right.
And, I really found that that's something I really, really gravitate towards. And then even as of late, like artists like Holly Humberstone with the more talky kind of, not whiny thing, but you just find that you are able to do certain inflections that fit your voice better as you grow. And I know that even as like the next few years go on, like I'm going to keep figuring out what my voice is.
I love that. It's not set in stone just yet. It's going to be continuing to evolve with you and with your talent and where you end up. I know you recently just spent a good amount of time on the road, and it wasn't just like a little tour. It was a chunky tour. You guys did a lot of dates in a lot of cities. Were you able to kind of protect your voice in that element, or were you like, okay, I'm now learning I really have to not, abuse this thing?
Yeah, it was definitely very telling. We were all so tired, and it was so awesome, and it's just like so much besides the singing, like just yelling every day, just like, and so
Exciting.
I learned it's exciting, but also
You don't
like
sleep?
you don't sleep, you do, you just
Look at Austin. He's like, nope,
no sleep. No sleep, just bus and drive. But I learned very quickly that I do like need to start taking better care of my voice, and like I learned also like ways how to quickly get my voice ready to go on stage, and what works best for me in those situations too, when I don't have a long time to like warm up or something like that. So it was very, very insightful few weeks.
What are your go-to vocal tricks? I'm always curious.
Well, my go-to vocal trick currently is don't sing a lot during the day. So sing a little bit before you go on. Take a shot. Go on stage. That's
She's
my.
got it down.
That's my.
I was expecting like throat
yard
coat,
level.
vitamin C drops, a little steroid spray. She's like, nah.
I know. I think what I've learned about me is like the harder I try and the more I focus on it, the worse it is. And I don't have like a big voice. I have a very almost conversational singing voice.
Yeah.
And so I think kind of doing things that lend itself similarly to that throughout the day, minus a shot, is what helps it the most.
And knowing your microphones.
Knowing your microphones. I'm still learning microphones. I take too much advantage of having an awesome guitarist like Austin who knows stuff about things, and he helps me figure that out. So still learning the mic situation. I dropped out of music school, so.
Oh, you're like, I'm just going to go ahead and do it?
I went ahead and did it. Yeah. Now I can't do math, so.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
I learned the hard way about microphones and headphones. So like I'm sure you've already met them, a million of them already, people that have been in the industry for 5, 10, 15 years, and they can't hear you at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they had, hi, Austin, there he is again, over the ear cans, cranked up high, and then, after a few years, you can't hear. So it's like, I started off very early on, also taking a shot prior to a show, but learning not to turn everything up, turn my microphone up to save the voice, turn my ears down to save my ears.
That's good advice, and definitely something I will be taking into practice, because
like you said, speaking to your voice, like, you have like this, really velvety kind of voice, and you don't want to get to, obviously you can definitely get out there and scream and yell and have a great time, but like that main instrument right there, it's a beautiful thing. You got to protect that.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I need to be better about it, and I think getting older is definitely teaching me that for sure.
Any more touring plans coming up anytime soon? We can see you live.
Hopefully, we were supposed to do maybe possibly something we can't fully talk about yet, but possibly a little something in the fall, which I'm stoked about. And we're just trying to get back out there because I love touring and I love playing live, and so I'm got the itch to get back out there for sure.
Who are some of your favorite artists that you've caught live here recently that their show has really kind of impressed you?
Oh my gosh, let me think. I mean, one of my favorite artists is Charlotte Sands, and I saw her at Brooklyn Bowl a couple months ago, and just her stage presence is it's so great at the Disco Ball. Yeah. She crushed it. I saw Breakins at Eastside Bowl in Nashville as of recently, and he was so great. Trying to think, I'm a 1975 girl, and this was all the way back in October, but their live show is like so unmatched. Like,
so good.
Just loved it. Loved the theatrics of it all.
So good.
I feel like sadly, I go to a lot of local like shows and a lot of my friends' shows, and like everyone like Carter. I just went to my friend Carter Rubin's show. He absolutely crushed it. But I feel like I haven't been to like a big like this is a huge concert thing in a minute. What have you been
lately?
Going to? Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, Era's tour was impressive.
I didn't get to see it. I was so sad.
I took my daughter to see it in Tampa right when it began, and wow. I mean, it's a production like no other. But the last show that I saw in Nashville, I think, was Old Dominion at Bridgestone.
Oh, sick.
And that was really very, very cool. But I like the small shows and I like the big shows. And I think what I like about the small shows is that you really kind of get a better glimpse of the artist, you know. I may be dumb, but as a person, as a human, like you're there, you're face to face. You can't hide behind a bunch of lights and, you know, this, that, and the other. So I've always kind of thoroughly enjoyed going to the smaller shows, almost as like a study.
Yeah.
And, you know, what can I pick up? What can I learn? What would I ask them? Because as an interviewer, I'm always like, okay, where would I go with this? Or how would I, you know, take this in? When you go to a show, do you ever find yourself kind of studying? Like,
for
what
sure.
What are they doing?
It's very hard the more I'm in music, like to go to a show and just be like, I am attending the show and enjoying it for its purpose. Because it's just like, for one, I've talked to a lot of friends of mine who are also artists, and it's like you get that like almost sad feeling because you're just like, oh my God, like this makes me want to be up there right now myself doing it so bad. But then like it also is such an analytical thing. Like, what gear do they have? what is their stage presence like? Yeah, like exactly. Like what's their band set up like all these things. It's hard, and what like their set list transitions. And I've learned a lot of like cool tricks, like watching other people and watching my friends who are so willing and helpful to give advice in those things.
I love that.
But yeah, concerts they will never be the same for the most part. I'd say the last concert I went to that was so immersive for me like that was the 1975. I was just like, I am strictly here as a fan. I'm not doing any analytical brain now.
I'm just gonna look at Maddie Healy and I'm gonna sing every word way too loud, and I'm gonna have no voice.
And I did.
Yeah. Well done. Well, what's the vibe at your show then? If we're going to come to a Caroline Romano show, how are we feeling when we're leaving?
I hope you feel, but the vibe I try to bring is very honest, but also have a good time, jump around, kind of like the first time someone goes to a party in their life and the first time they ever like let loose and they just leave it all there. That's kind of what I want it to feel like, because I personally feel like I walk around trying to be composed for most of my life. And then there are these brief moments where I just lose my mind, and it's the best feeling in the world. And that's kind of what I try to replicate on stage and what people are feeling too.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, give us a taste of it. I know it's not the full live show here, but we are definitely enjoying getting to know you and your music better. And if you are enjoying the music as well here in the Jam Happy Hour with Caroline Romano, add her to your playlist. Check out her socials. There's beautiful, beautiful Instagram page, and there's always an easy way to keep up with the music and the updates and whatnot. But what would you like to perform for us next?
We're gonna get a little heavier with it. We're gonna do a song I have called "Tellerize It High." That I wrote last year, and imagine it not on acoustic guitar, just way bigger with a lot of instruments, but we're gonna do it on acoustic. So this is Tellerize It High.
All right, Caroline, take it away.
collarbones. It started with collarbones and ended up with me in your bedroom. Navy blue, your bed sheets were navy blue, and I was smothered in what I thought was love, but it's just what you do. And I'm the girl you drive home half a mile from where you live, just to drop me off, go and change your clothes and do it all again. And now I'm waiting for your call. You said you would and I believed it. Guess I must love being wrong. I don't know how I didn't see it. Tell her I said hi. You said you loved me, that was a lie. Right through your teeth while you looked me in the eye. She thinks you're pretty, you said I was too. She's got your sweatpants and I've got a bruise from every half-truth. Had me thinking that I had you. Every kiss opens a new wound every time. So tell her I said hi. Victoria, her name was Victoria, and she was everything that I wasn't for you. So I'll run my body to the bone to rid myself of every curve you once adored, 'cause they still feel like yours. So tell her I said hi. You said you loved me, that was a lie. Right through your teeth while you looked me in the eye. She's pretty, said I was too. She's got your sweatpants and I've got a bruise from every half-truth. Had me thinking that I had you. Every kiss opens a new wound every time. So tell her I said hi. Tell her I said hi. So tell her I left my ring on your desk. She can have it if it fits. What's another thing to miss? I've got plenty, like your Batman poster. How you'd hold me closer when I slept on your chest. Miss your face and your breath, but it's fine, they're not mine. I only think about it all the time. If it's not me and you're the problem, did you use her just to solve them? You said you loved me, that was a lie. Right through your teeth while you looked me in the eye. She thinks you're pretty, said I was too. She's got your sweatpants and I've got a bruise from every half-truth. Had me thinking that I had you. Every kiss opens a new wound every time. So tell her I said hi.
I love that one.
Thank you so much. Sorry, my mic is. Thank you, Austin.
No, I totally get it. I like that a whole lot.
Thank
That's
you.
snarky, and it is smart, and it is clever, and I'm sure there's a lot of other women, even men out there too, that can completely relate to every lyric on that one.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I was sad when I wrote that.
Sad, mad, and all the
Sad,
things.
mad. It's all the same thing, but yeah, that one's a fun one.
It's got to feel pretty good, when you can get something like that out. I mean, obviously, it doesn't take away from the pain of actually having to go through something like that, but being able to kind of like sit with it and work with it and be creative with it and create something out of it has to help on some level, I would think.
Oh, totally. I think emotionally, I would still be much more of a mess than I am if I did not have, like, I wrote, I would say, a lot of songs about this, but I released like 7 songs about this same exact thing, but they are all in such different fonts and like formats, and it really helped me process, like, also just process what is actually happening, and it gives me some perspective on it. And then you also have this cool thing where people do relate to it, and it,
Right.
it brings you some sense of like, oh, okay, well, it was not all like for just heartbreak. It was for something cool too, which is so great.
Tell me about that. When you do release a song, or whether they're looking through your socials and they see something that they connect to, and when people reach out and they go, I lived this, I went right through this, you nailed this, or thank you for putting words to what I couldn't. How does that make you feel as an artist?
It makes me feel great. Like, it's kind of like, that's a terrible non-songwriter way to explain it, but it is like, it's just
It's
like
honest.
it's a very like, oh my God, I'm so glad that there are people out there who feel the same way I do. I'm sorry that you're experiencing something difficult, but it makes me feel better as a person, like, just to know that I'm not alone in whatever I'm feeling. And then it also, I mean, I think the goal at the end of the day for me is always to just be relatable and honest. And I think if that's the mark, like, that I'm hitting, that makes me just so stoked.
That's very cool. If you were to mentor up and coming songwriters, what is kind of your trick to kind of open maybe just like the personal floodgates to get to something so guttural and real and write about it when most people can't even talk about it?
I think that's kind of my mentality, is if it kind of scares you to put on paper. There's a car horn going off in the background. I'm sorry. If it kind of scares you to write down or to say out loud, or if you were scared to kind of like talk to someone about it, like, that probably means it's a really good lyric, and that probably means it's a really good thing to be writing about, because that means it's raw. And like, most of the time I don't talk to my friends or my family about my problems until they've heard about it in a song first. That's typically their first, like,
Your poor mother.
yes. And that's,
Honey, are you
God,
okay?
God bless her. I've had those texts. Do we need to talk? And I'm like, no, it's good. It's just the song, but also yes. I think anything that kind of gets you out of your comfort zone is a really good place to start, at least for me, because that means it's probably honest too.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good way to look at it too. Speaking of looking at it, looking at your Instagram right now, it is very visual.
Oh,
And
thanks.
as a songwriter and also, as the artist, do you always kind of have that visual component already kind of picked out in your mind? Or again, is it just coming from a place of, hey, we're in the moment and this is what's happening and let's capture these photos? Because I mean, aesthetically, the brand is hot.
Oh, thanks. I am a very visual person, and a lot of, like, for all of my big projects, I totally have like once they all come together, I can see exactly what I want it to be, and I love that process of like creating a world around everything I do, and being very immersive in it. But there are a lot of things, especially when it comes to like social media. I'm not big on social media. Like, it's not my natural.
It's a full-time
place.
job.
Yeah, and it's just I'm an introverted person, and I don't. I'm also an insecure person, and so social media is a scary place for me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just like my friends who are so creative and cool and just like down to do stuff, just snapping pictures when they know they can get a good moment with me, and
That's
then they're
awesome.
like, post it, Caroline, don't overthink it. And so then I do. So yeah,
Those are good friends.
they are
Keep
good friends.
them. They do a
100%.
beautiful job.
Thank you.
We are going to reset for a hot second. We have Caroline Romano here in the Jam Happy Hour. If you are enjoying the music, please do add her to your playlist and share it, because every little click and like and all those good things definitely kind of massages the algorithm a little bit and basically gets the music out even more so, which is what we're here to do. We're here to share conversation and music and some good wines along the way too. We are over halfway through our hour here already.
Wow.
And I know we have a new project
Yeah.
to talk about in the near future, but we would love another song. What would you like to play for us next?
Well, I'm going to play the only unreleased song I have not played. Like, I've not played any unreleased songs for you yet, and this one is not out, and it's going to be on the project. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Great lead in.
Great lead in. So well eloquently said, Austin. Sorry.
Can we fix the mic super quick? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sure. You do that. If Austin knows what to do, he's going to fix the mic
Austin
really
is the
super
tech
quick.
wizard. Yes.
We love tech. I'm a tech nerd. Not
I
in the
love
sense
that.
of where I can, like, I know what chord goes where, but when it comes to like Pro Tools and Adobe and like mixing and production, like I could dive in on that stuff and nerd out all day long. Like, I love it.
That's so sick. Wait, what'd you say?
Well, while they set that up, I'm going to remind you, while here in the Jam Happy Hour, if you have not enjoyed some lovely jam wines in a hot minute, you can have them shipped directly to your house, by the way. If you just want to go to jamcellars.com, hit the shop link, and then shop away. I highly recommend them all, by the way. So I can't say anything bad about any of them, but if you know me, then you know that's the truth here. And if you are looking for more music or more podcasts or getting to know more artists a little bit better, we have an entire series wherever you get your podcasts, through iHeart or Spotify's or Apple's. There you go. Beautiful, Emily. We have the Jam Happy Hour as a podcast where we've got hundreds of shows just like this with artists that you can get to know a little bit better.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
You are.
Yes. All right, let's go. Sorry about
Awesome.
that. Thank you,
Urgencies
Austin.
So we were talking, the new project's coming up, but this is an unreleased song.
Unreleased song, and it's called Pretty Boys. So
I like Pretty
I
Boys.
hope you like it. Yeah.
Thanks. Take it away.
Ready? Okay.
1, 2, 3. Happy Halloween. You kissed her in front of me. Then I ran crying with her keys still in my purse. Oh, what a scene. And I typed out a script of obscenities and shit I knew I'd never say to your dumb pretty face. I hit delete on all the sideways glances, sing-alongs, new age concerts, highway talks, the $20 I spend on each long distance cell phone call. 'Cause when you say we're just friends, you mean it. Barely 20s in your season. You want me, but just to sweeten up your pretty boy blues. She's in your shirt, I'm in shambles, smiling at me through your scandal, lying to your one real truth. That's what pretty boys do. You had the nerve to act surprised, to make me laugh and bat your eyes. Forgive the middle finger that I sent you in the bathroom line. I hate how you make me forget how blood went rushing through my head, how I was sobbing in the backseat of a car that wasn't mine. 'Cause when you say we're just friends, you mean it. Barely 20s in your season. You want me, but just to sweeten up your pretty boy blues. She's in your shirt, I'm in shambles, smiling at me through your scandal, lying to your one real truth. That's what pretty boys do. What was it all for? Canceled birthday plans, I skipped the nights out with my friends to hold my breath, holding out for you. What was the point of 10 months leading up for just one kiss when we were drunk and never got the castle, just the ruins? And I couldn't hurt you even if I wanted to. 'Cause when you say we're just friends, you mean it. Barely 20s in your season. You want me, but just to sweeten up your pretty boy blues. She's in your shirt, I'm in shambles, smiling at me through your scandal, lying to your one real truth. That's what pretty boys do.
That was Pretty Boys.
You have to watch out for Pretty Boys.
You do.
Is
Truly.
Matty Healy a pretty boy?
Yes, I would quantify him as a pretty boy.
He is pretty.
He is pretty. Thank you for agreeing with me, because
Yes.
my mom doesn't get it. I'm like, you could never, Mom. But yeah.
He's a pretty bad boy.
Yes, he has the swagger, and he's objectively just a very attractive man. So, yeah.
I'm so glad we agree on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So Pretty Boys is from a soon to come project, and what can you fill us in on?
Yeah, so I putting out another EP, hopefully by the end of this year, and I've got the first song coming off of it August 23rd, and it's called Body Bag, and it's very different than anything I've released prior to now. And it's darker, but also more upbeat and just weirder overall production wise. But
The name
basically,
like body bag sounds.
yeah, true, fair. Didn't even think
Fair.
about that. But yeah, it's a lot about kind of documenting my life after turning 21, because like I was a very sheltered and like shy kid, and when I turned 21, I was like, this is my chance to be the person I've always wanted to be. Like, I can be cool. And oh my God, did I make mistakes? And so I have been just writing about that, and that continual like pattern of like putting on your black going out dress like it's a body bag and just going to ruin your life every Friday night.
Very interesting metaphor there, Caroline.
Thank you.
Everybody's little LBD.
I know. It's dangerous. Yeah.
Cannot wear my LBD now. I'm going to a gala on Saturday, and I was going to wear my LBD.
No, wear it to the gala. The gala's a very appropriate place. I'm saying don't wear it to a dive bar off Gallatin Avenue.
That makes way better sense.
Yeah.
And as you're walking into said dive bar on Gallatin Avenue, and let's say a song inspiration strikes you, how do you grab it? I feel like we're getting thrown so many things, so much data, just constant pop-up ads in our lives. When you get that really great idea, you're like, oh my God, don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it. How do you keep it?
Thank God for smartphones, because it's just all in my notes. I will literally like stop whatever I'm doing, pull over if I have to, go to the bathroom if I have to, write it down, write as much as it's in my brain in that moment. And sometimes the next morning I look back and be like, that's not coherent. That's not something that someone would want to say. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I wrote that down, because this turns into an idea down the road in a song. So you just got to write it down for sure.
I love that. And I bet sometimes you can go back through it all and be just like, wow, that was a crazy month.
Yeah. Sometimes there are like I go back sometimes to the stuff I wrote when I was like 17, 16, had literally no problems in life. And I was like, what were you doing? Like, you acted like you were so put upon. But it's fun to read for sure.
I'm sure. So we got EP, hopefully by the end of the year. New music, August 23rd. Music Fridays. That's going to be a busy one, by the way.
Know.
What is the best way to keep up with you as these new releases come out?
Anywhere you partake in social media. I'm Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I'm on all of that, and I try my best to post about it all. And then, follow me on Spotify and get those notifications when it comes out. Pre-save, please.
I do like a notification. That way you don't have to think about it. Just go in and like it now, and then when the new stuff comes out,
on August 23rd, it'll just be there. Yeah.
It's only a few weeks away. Does it make you nervous that another project is about to?
It does, only from
out?
the sense of like, I'm so excited for it to be out, but also I want to make sure I'm like putting my best into everything I'm doing, and like when the time starts ticking and I'm like, oh, I've only posted about this song twice so far. I
business.
The business of it all. I need to kick it into gear on that, but it's more excited than nervous. It's a good nervous.
I've always thought it must be like so interesting, as a performer and as an artist and also as a songwriter. And we touched on it briefly earlier that you live with these songs so much longer than, we as consumers do. And it's almost like watching it kind of like grow up and like leave for college. It's like, okay, here you go. How hard is it for you to kind of just release it out into the world, knowing it could mean something completely different to whoever's going to hear it?
I wouldn't say it's hard. It is weird to be like, after all this time, now it's just suddenly out and whatever happens. But it's always just cool to me to be like, you know what? So far people have related to what I have to say, and that's like a really cool thing. And every song has a different reaction, but it is just weird being like, okay, I made this thing and I hope you like it, entire world. Hope you think it's cool. And you just cross your fingers that they do. Yeah.
That's a very bold, it's a very brave thing to do.
Oh, thanks. I am not brave in that. I'm more just like.
I know you're saying like you're insecure and you're introvert, but yet here you are,
Yeah. I had to call my mom to go to USPS the other day because I was so nervous to go inside.
It made her feel very loved, by the way.
It made her go, Caroline, what happened in the 22 years that you're alive that you've not been in a USPS, and why do you have to call me? So, big Tuesday last week.
Big Tuesday.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Feels like a good transition point, Caroline. What would you like to jump in? We've got about, I'll say 15 minutes, maybe time for 2 more songs here in the Gem Happy Hour. any more unreleased, or we want to jump back a little bit?
I think we're going to jump back to a song I put out in November of last year called Girl in a China Shop. And it's one of my favorites. So
Awesome.
we're going to play that for you.
Another visual, too.
Yes.
All right, Girl in a China Shop. Here's Caroline Romano.
I'm a stupid Socrates, wear skirts with all my Socrates. I push out all my best friends to invite all of my enemies. And I am kind to what is cruel, starve myself to feel more full. Others drink for confidence, I drink till I'm incompetent. Ooh. I want the boys who don't want me, ignore the text that I should read. I'm always on my phone talking about why I'm so lonely. Look my best when I feel my worst. Love doesn't count if it doesn't hurt. I am a lightweight, a daughter, I am a deadweight, I am a monster. I am a girl in a china shop. Counting the damage, can't pay the cost. I break things, I take things, composure I'm faking, compare my mistakes until everyone hates me. I am a girl in a china shop, scared that my wish is the best that I've got. I only hurt the people who would never hurt me back. I go on shitty dates, make the good ones wait. No, there's so much wrong with that. I disappear to feel more seen. Habit of breaking routine, to tell the truth. Nothing new, carry a baseball bat and a broom. But I'm the most breakable thing in the room. I am a girl in a china shop. Counting the damage, can't pay the cost. I cannot pay the cost. I break things, I take things, composure I'm faking, compare my mistakes till everyone hates me. I am a girl in a china shop, scared that my wish is the best that I've got. There's not a delicate bone in my body. I just wish that someone would stop me. There's not a delicate bone in my body. I just wish that someone would stop me. 'Cause I am a girl in a china shop. Counting the damage, can't pay the cost. Ooh, I break things, I take things, composure I'm faking, compare my mistakes till everyone hates me. I am a girl in a china shop, scared that my wish is the best that I've got.
So many great lyrics in that one, too.
Thank you.
And all the juxtaposition, I think, like everybody, and I don't want to make it like all female, but like, you know, the push and the pull and the black and the white, like it's kind of like something people can absolutely relate to. So again, another example of just really great songwriting here with Caroline Romano and the Jam Happy Hour. You've been putting out music 7-ish years at this point.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you wrote your first song and went, I can do this?
Yes, I do. Technically my first song ever. My mom, I don't know why I'm talking about my mom so much in this, but
Moms are awesome.
she's so great. But one year she was like, I'm not decorating for Christmas this year. I was 12 and I was devastated because she was just threatening us because we were bad. And I was I'm devastated. I'm going to make you feel horrible. So I wrote this like song called Remember Christmas, and it was like about all the things like that she would regret one day in her old age if she did not have Christmas this year, and all the stuff about our family. And I played it for her and my grandmother, and they just wept. And then that's easy to say, it's just my my mom and my grandparents, but like my dad, who's not an emotional guy by any means, was also like, this is kind of good. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay. And so then I kept writing, and they weren't great songs, but I was like, I think I really love this, and I think I can do this. And I just fell in love with it. So yeah, it was a spiteful Christmas song. It was just
very spiteful Christmas song. I need a full Christmas album now. Spiteful Christmas breakup album.
Yeah, that can be that could be arranged. But yeah, for sure.
So 7 years ago, you wrote your first song. Where are you going to be 7 years from now?
7 years from now, I know I'm still going to be making music, still writing every day, and I want to take music and what I do and my passions as far and wide as they can possibly go. And my dream is to like be playing sold out shows across the world and have a lot more music out that I'm more proud of than I was the day before. And so that's my goal, is just to keep going and make better stuff than I did yesterday. So hopefully in 7 years I'll be doing that.
That's a great goal. We'll definitely be watching along. Thank you for spending time here with us in the Jam Happy Hour. We've got time for one more song here this evening. How would you like to take us out?
We're gonna do this like it's a Caroline Romano show and go with our closing song that we always do. It's called This House, and it's one of my favorites. So hope you guys like it.
This House and the Jam Happy Hour.
6.
I could bounce a quarter off the bedspread that I sat here and remade, and I wait. You were in the kitchen being lovely, so I try not to replay how you made me feel yesterday. Put on my best clothes for you, it's just what I do. If you stood in my shoes, would you see it too? So I set the table and you pull the cloth, and when I paint a fresh coat, you draw on the walls, and you've got me convinced this is just how you love. And it's not your fault for burning this house, it's mine for building it up. Do you think I'm just so sad and pretty, like an actress from the 50s? She will die if you're not here. And you look like Achilles in his prime. How dare I try to be your heel? So I put on my best clothes for you, it's just what I do. If you stood in my shoes, would you love you too? So I set the table and you pull the cloth, and when I paint a fresh coat, you draw on the walls, and you've got me convinced this is just how you love. And it's not your fault for burning this house, it's mine for building it up. I'm a good girl, that's what you say. I adore you. You come home late. I'm a good girl, that's what you say. But I have made too much of this, and there is nothing here to miss, while you set the curtains in flames. So I set the table and you pull the cloth, and when I paint a fresh coat, you draw on the walls, and you've got me convinced this is just how you love. And it's not your fault for burning this house, it's mine for building it up.
got so many just great stories and songs in you.
Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to the new EP coming out later on this year. Brand new music going to be out on August 23rd. Caroline Romano, thank you. And Austin, too, thank you for being a part of the Jam Happy Hour with us this evening. Cannot wait to see what else you've got coming our way, for sure.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for having us. It's so much fun.
Anytime. Cheers to you. Cheers to everybody.
Cheers,
Thanks for
guys.
joining. And
Yeah.
remember, go follow her so you don't miss out on August 23rd.
Thank you guys.
Night,
You're the
everybody.
best. Bye.